Okay, this is Contemporary Math, Section 5C, and we're going to be talking about different kinds of tables and graphs. So let's say I had a teacher had this list of grades for a certain test, or a semester, or quarter grades, or whatever. So it's not really very useful to have all of the results listed like this. So maybe we would want to do a frequency table, which is what this is right here. This is so much easier to read. We can see that there's 4A's, 7B's, 9C's, and on and on. This is an example of a relative and a cumulative frequency chart. So not only does it give the frequencies, but it tells us what percentage each of those frequencies is of the total. So then from a frequency table, we would often do maybe a bar graph, or a histogram, or a pie chart. We wouldn't necessarily do, you could do a line graph on this data. It wouldn't be my first choice for a graph. A pie chart is a really good visual to see how the grades are dispersed across the whole class. Obviously, the bar chart histogram does the same thing. So let's look at the main differences between a bar graph and a histogram. First of all, you can see that a bar graph has space in between each bars. The histogram does not. And generally on a histogram, these are called bins. And this usually talks about like a range of data. Let's say that for the grades, this would be 0 to 60, and then 70, and then 80, and then 90. Wait, I did that wrong. Anyway, so this would actually be 0 to 59 would represent the F's. 60 to 69 would represent the D's. This is not really the data. That's what was throwing me. This isn't really from the data from our frequency chart. But you get the idea that these are bin values, and each bin has 10 scores in it. Where these are just things that we're counting. You know, how many of these, how many of these, how many of these, how many of these, and on and on. So that's the main difference between a bar graph and a histogram. Notice, I'm not really sure I like this scale because it's not consistent. This one is, it goes up by ones. A line graph usually is used to show things over time. For instance, let's say that this is a graph of certain type of car sales at a car dealership. You know, first month, second month, third month, you know, we sold 4 and then 6. And so it's easy to do that. It's also really easy to compare more than one thing by having more than one line graph on the same chart. So your assignment for this section, if you are a DLI student, I will I'll post the assignment on the Teams page. So make sure you look at the Teams page for assignment 5C. And it'll be there later today.